Come on in, Mr. Carr.
Hey,
so
Ben.
great to see you again.
Pleasure to see you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Exciting day, finally selling this house.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Been waiting.
So we're meeting just to sign the deed, transfer ownership from you, the seller, to the buyer.
Alrighty.
First page is informational, so has your name, the buyer's name, and
$10.
yep, $10.
I'm selling my house for like $450,000. Why 10?
Well, 10 is just kind of a standard consideration. So,
Why?
well, okay. Well, let's get into it. Well, I'll explain in detail here. For and in consideration of $10 and other good and valuable consideration. Hold on a second. I'm selling my house for a lot more than $10. Why did my lawyer put $10 on that deed? Well, if you look at almost any deed, for some reason, the buyer or the grantee pays $10 to the grantor. But why is that? Well, in this short video, we'll talk about the good old, quote, peppercorn consideration, unquote. So, $10 consideration. What's a consideration in general? Essentially, it's part of the exchange of goods, and usually it's the payment to receive the goods. Considerations can either be a payment of debt, a trade of goods for a certain service, or even a goods for goods swap. Hey, it's a good old-fashioned trade. The vast majority of real estate and deed transfers are done with consideration. Some examples of being able to transfer without consideration would be a spouse-to-spouse transfer, a transfer from an individual to a trust, mainly for estate planning purposes, or transfers made under situations surrounding divorce. Yet, those are fairly uncommon. Odds are, if you're watching this video and anyone other than your significant other is on the receiving end of a deed transfer, there will be consideration paid. So, why $10? Well, to put it simple, it's enough to denote that there has been notable payment for the transfer of the deed without being an out-of-pocket expense that will put too much, if any, financial strain on the grantee. Realistically, the amount could be anything. We could put in $200,000, $562, $473.26 if we wanted to. But we decided to make it much simpler and just said, hey, if $10 works for the government, why overcomplicate it? Now, we called it a, quote, peppercorn consideration before. So where does that name come from? Well, our law clerk Emilio did some digging, and he found an old court case where the judge stated that to make a contract enforceable, there needs to be a real value as consideration. However, the value could be something as small as a peppercorn. Thus, the term peppercorn consideration was coined, and it's one that still gets thrown around from time to time, even to this day. So there you go, $10. It was one of those issues that we took for granted until we asked ourselves why. We figured if we were wondering, maybe someone else was too. If you learned something from this video, leave a like. And if you want to have us dig into more real estate normalities that we just accept but have never really delved into why, well, leave it in the comments and we'll look into it. I'm Ben Weaver. We'll be taking new contracts and clients, and I'll see you in the next video.